Somewhere along the road of training for a race, you really start to lose focus on the medal that you get at the end. It's not that it doesn't mean anything to you anymore, it's just that the journey itself becomes the reward that you were looking for the entire time. And honestly, why else would you wake up and just choose to run 10 miles? When we arrived in Iowa, we had two very excited guests to see us. The first one, all you have to do is throw this 200 times and she'll love you. The second one, I'm not exactly sure what her thing is, but she's really cute. My sister was nice enough to let us stay at her house, and to repay that favor, I accidentally hit her in the face with a frisbee, so sorry about that. I think the Weens were really excited to see him, and honestly I was too, because he was the one who's supposed to be cooking our dinner for us. What made this evening even more enjoyable was the fact that we had already trained hard leading up to this run. When you put in the effort ahead of time, it takes the stress out of the big test. And speaking of tests, that's the entire reason we made this trip in the first place. My wife had to take her final board exam of chiropractic school, so just like we're training hard for this big run, she also had to study and prepare for that test. There's a lot going on this weekend, but we are ready for it, and it made the games and the cookout that much more enjoyable. There's definitely a lot going on this weekend, but we're ready for it, and it made the games and the cookout that much more enjoyable. And when it comes to games like croquet, you know I'm going to be taking it very seriously. Probably more serious than I need to be taking it. But with that being said, yes, I won by a landslide. It wasn't even close. We woke up super early the next day to take Sylvia to her test. Woke up around 5:30 and we were out the door by 6 a.m. I figured while she was testing for the next couple hours, I would head down to the river where we were going to run our 10 miles and enjoy some time walking down by the water. And yes, I was a good husband and I picked her up some flowers for when she was done. It's always great being back in the Quad Cities. This is a place that I've lived for the past 3.5 years before moving back to Ohio to start working. Being back here is always so nostalgic. It's really the place where I first started running. I spent a lot of time training down by the water, so I'm very familiar with this area. I've probably run under this bridge 100 times, and I've logged some serious miles down by the Mississippi River. And this is where we're going to be running our 10 miles. Just dropped Sylvia off at school. So she's taken her Part 4 boards exam. That's the last test she'll have to take of chiropractic school. So I'm really hoping it goes well. She knows her stuff. You should have seen her cruising through those flashcards. She knows her stuff. So I'm not too worried about Sylvia. And the sad part is the test takes about 3 hours. And because you can't leave and like give information to other students coming in for later testing times, she will be at the school for 9 hours. So she's got like one protein bar, some Fruit Loops, and some like organic Annie's brand snack mix. So, all right, I'm out here this morning and we're out by the river, getting some pictures, taking some videos and stuff by the bridge. Later today, we're gonna be running our 10 miles. So excited, a little nervous, but honestly, after that 9-mile run and even the 8-mile run, I feel like at this point I can do anything. So I'm not overthinking it. I'm just gonna take it 1 mile at a time. We're gonna run up and down this river. So I think it's gonna be really pretty later. It's gonna be pretty warm. For Sylvia, after 9 hours of waiting, then she's gonna come out here and have to run 10 miles. So for her, it's gonna be just a really long day. But for me, I'm gonna be chilling for a little bit, spending some time with family, and preparing to run all these miles.
Run away into your escape.
We're trying to see if we can all agree on how to build a croquet course. So we're trying to build something pretty intense this evening. Saturday night, believe it or not, when we picked up Sylvia, she did not feel like running 10 miles tonight, which is totally understandable for her huge test for as long as that took. So I just want to go over a couple things that we got because we're going to run tomorrow morning at like 6 a.m. is supposed to be 68 degrees, and it's going to hit the 70s by the time we're done. So first of all, we got for breakfast these oatmeal cups right here. 14 grams of protein, 230 calories, 38 grams of carbs. So that's really going to help. Right before we run, probably in the car, we have these salted caramel honey stingers. And then we got some pineapple for tomorrow morning just to like snack on. So tonight I think we're doing frozen pizzas and fruit. And then we're going to play some croquet, play some games, kind of enjoy the last night here in Iowa. And then tomorrow morning, we're going to get our run in before we go to church. And she can recover after her 9 hours of being stuck at school, which is not the most fun thing ever. So that is the plan. And we will finally catch up on sleep and get to run tomorrow morning. We are by no means a family of golfers. Except my wife. She's actually pretty good at golf. But the rest of us don't really have any idea what we're doing. Here's really my first attempt at a halfway decent swing, and I honestly tried my best here. Exactly. But with a little help,
hey,
we got things looking a little bit nicer. This was a really nice way to de-stress before our big run. All right, doing a halfway check-in here. We're both just about halfway done. I've already taken one gel about 3 miles in. So at this point, it's just kind of getting back there. If I need that second gel, I got it in my pocket. If not, so be it. How you feeling for 10?
I just want to get to 5 first.
We'll get there,
yeah,
and then
halfway.
finish with 10. We can do it. Listen up. It's all over. 10 miles, 1 hour, 29 minutes,
Are you serious?
8 minutes, 56 seconds average. We started out a little slow in the mid-9s, and we just picked it up. Runner's high carried us. Had some nice reminiscing, some good nostalgia of running here. When I first started running, it was all down by the water, so I've done this dozens and dozens of times. So I always kind of knew where I was. It wasn't unfamiliar. So we're done. It feels great to be done. How you feeling?
Pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
This trail made it so much easier. Like, I was at mile 5 and I was like, wow, I'm actually kind of enjoying myself.
A little better than a
Versus,
1.2
like-
mile loop
Yeah.
of just doing a circle 8 or 9 times. So this was good. I'm ready to taper. Actually, I'm ready for coffee. I've had no coffee today, and it's, I don't know what time it is, but my watch is showing my Strava time. So we need coffee and we need food, and we gotta get ready for church pretty quick. We're always trying to get ready for church. We're always in a hurry. I'm very glad this one is done. We had just enough time after church to pick up one last coffee before we hit the road, so we had to stop at my favorite coffee shop, 392. Local coffee is always better, and this is a coffee shop I've certainly spent a lot of money at while in college. They have a great cappuccino, but my favorite drink here is the salted caramel iced latte. The homemade salted caramel syrup is what kept me alive for the past 3.5 years while taking some pretty intense classes. I think that's why I love coming back to this city so much, is because the memories I have here are fantastic. And so many journeys I've started in my life have their roots right here. It's always great being back in the city, but now it's time to finish the journey in Ann Arbor, Michigan for our first half marathon.